event was created in the building for people to come and see. And I even went there looking at that myself. I was like, wow, this is amazing. Now, if we could do that for most creative people, let's imagine having that for that deliver, community, and it's going to be amazing. So we need to keep legacy, and that is where we are right now, to have conversation around how we can be together as an ecosystem and protect it and play our part, our key roles to keep this running.
4 years for just that moment. After that, 2 years, that's what happened when they got the numbers. Are they calling us to come and join again? When was the last time that you see that the AA parity with Nigerians? We could do the same thing. If Mr. Baby says he's bringing Shatabali Stone, Sarkodie to London, and then Whiskey as a surprise guest, of course we're getting the numbers, but it's still a Ghana initiative. So until we get to do that, we can't complain.
So let me understand this. Why isn't that happening? You have
The Dawn TV.
welcome. This is Kumasi Rising, and it's such an honor to be with you this morning to host this program. I'm Sewami, I work with the EIP Network. And today, well, we'll be having a lot of conversations, especially about the creative industry. And I'm happy to see everyone. Let's put our hands together for Sarkodie, who is the reason why we're all gathered here. And of course, I see a lot of industry persons, I see bloggers, I see journalists. Good morning to all of you and welcome. This morning, we'll be talking about culture. We'll be talking about putting Kumasi on the global creative map. Today, we've gathered as thinkers, as doers, as makers, and as dreamers. And we've gathered here to explore how this beating heart of culture and creativity can rise just not in talent, but in structure as well. I mean, the man for which reason we are all gathered here has done it. We can all attest to the fact that Sarkodie has been there, done that. He's a legend in the industry. And today we'll hear from him how he built it, how he did it, because I know that many people want to know how he's been able to be consistent all of these years. And so over the next few hours, you hear from himself, you hear from producers, you hear from entrepreneurs, you hear from content creators, you hear from tourism operators, and media consultants as well, business executives like Marion here, and persons who believe that Kumasi is not just rising, but Kumasi is certainly ready for what is next. So you're officially welcome. This is Kumasi Rising. Once again, I am Sewami here, and I hope that we all have a good time. The bloggers, I know that you want content, but please, let's try to manage the situation beautifully so that we can hear everything that will be said, so it's more impactful. Also, we'll be opening the floor for questions. So if you have a question, note it down. Sarkodie will be speaking to us first. And so note your questions down, and then when it's time, I'll give you the opportunity to ask those questions. So once again, you're officially welcome. It's good to have all of you here. Let's put our hands together and welcome Sarkodie, the man for which reason we're gathered here this morning. Oh, you can do it better. Thank you. I would have, before he starts, I mean, while we're waiting, I'm giving a rap, but I don't think people want to hear me rap, so.
We want to.
Oh, I know you. They don't want to. Do you want to?
Yes.
Are you sure? It's not loud enough. Look at a lot of people here, and a lot of people say yes. Maybe make it louder, maybe I will.
I'm really going to give you some time to settle in. I just have the first one to speak. Thank you guys, God bless you. Thank you for coming. So, we are having Rapperholic coming, and it's only right. It's been years since we started Rapperholic. We came back big, So we said to the team, we're not just coming here to do a show and that's it and go back. We have to leave an impact. So we had a power-packed activations throughout when I came. And today is very important to me because this talks about the industry that made Sarkodie and how we can all have conversations about moving forward, what we can do as the creatives, the players, all the key people that we can all be together to make a better industry for ourselves. I'm not here as an artist that knows everything. I'm here to learn. I've seen the squad on the panel. It's amazing. I'm here to pick some knowledge. And I hope some of us here, I know we have artists here. I see my superstar who can in the building. God bless you, my brother. I know there will be some artists here that I don't see or recognize, but yes, hopefully we all pick something out of the panel today. So the main conversation we're having is talking music. Also, I see tourism. Music, of course, is Sarkodie, so that's my terrain. And know the importance of music. I'll start with the fact that music possesses our cultural language. You know, you can capture time, you can capture moments with music. If there's some song that when you play, it takes you back to a certain time, right? Like you know where you were, exactly what was happening. So something to record history, music is one of the best tools, you know, to use to archive it, our struggles, our happiness, everything. We use music to take us back to time. We have a lot of trainers that does that, especially like speak for Afro beats and reggae. You know, these songs represent struggles. As much as people think Afrobeat is like a dance genre that has no content to me, I think the melody there still reminds us as Africans where we came from. And no matter what our struggles are, we find a way to dance. So as far as history is concerned, music played a major role. And by doing that, we're able to build ambassadors organically. If you take the likes of Bob Marley, you take Fela Kuti, here in Ghana, you take Daddy Luba, you can come all the way to Shatawale, myself, Kudu Flake, Kudu Shrug, a lot. And we are all ambassadors, whether through the music itself, performances, whatever we can do as artists to be able to keep the legacy of Ghana going, we still do it. And from there, you intertwine that with tourism as a vehicle for legacy. Now when we take, we're in the great space now because of where Afrobeat is. Now we have Afro Nation worldwide. Now Africans in the diaspora are more confident to call themselves Africans because of music, what we've been able to do. The people in the forefront, the Davidos, the Burner, myself, our 2Bs, we brought our culture back. We made us very, very confident when we go out there. Years back, I didn't live in abroad, but I know that people in the diaspora, they used to feel very shy to even associate themselves with their roots. But when music came in, it became a tool for us to be proud and go out there with our full chest. Doing things like festivals, as I said, Rapperholic, and Rapperholic that we're about to do. I know a lot of people are coming. I had the flights are booked. I'm trying to get my wife here. It's been very hard for me to get her here. That should tell you what is happening in Kumasi this weekend. A lot of people are coming down here, and that's where the tourism and music comes together. Because some of them do Rapperholic, but just for that, we have people coming in from, I think it started from yesterday. We're getting tickets from yesterday to Sunday. So you have people here before the show, so you can guess what they're doing before the D-Day. They're going out there, they are doing sightseeing, they're going to the museums, all the sites here in Kumasi. So this shows how strong and how connected music and tourism is. So now, today what I want to take away is how we can impact the people themselves, you guys, the consumers, and how we can do, how we can empower our creative industry. So Kumasi Rising, I will limit it to Kumasi because the talent here is amazing. I think I said this years before Kumasi got the attention that they needed. I've always been coming to Kumasi to do shows, and I've seen the swag, the energy here. I can't compare it to anywhere else. You know, the type of music Kumasi was doing, the Asaka movement, people think it just came 2 or 3 days ago. It's been in existence since I came outside of here. I used to come here and perform a lot of it. And before I perform, I'll be watching the artists that come. I'm like, what type of sound is this? This is crazy. and they've been consistent in now getting the attention that they need. So we definitely want to encourage investment in the local arts here in Kumasi. And that's one thing that those investors are very scared about. One thing I can say for sure, music is one of the most safest and lucrative business you can get into. I can compare music to any other product you can think about, whether it be water, real estate, anything. To me, I will rate music over real estate. And people might not believe that. But let's say you own a company, which I see a lot of companies do, where they have workers that they pay monthly, they pay to service machines, a lot of money, the cost to even run that business. Yes, music takes money, but once it takes off, can you imagine that little best catalog is making more money? To me, I think it's making more money now than when he was even alive. Michael Jackson is the same. You know, so this is an industry that you can't just see it as entertainment, and people are just jumping and that's it. This is a serious money-making machine. And I would urge investors, and I understand sometimes it's really hard to have a conversation with investors when they don't understand what it really is. It's about ownership, whether it's partnership, Sarkodie I own 100%. You can come with partner, you own 20, you own 15, depends on what you take on board. I think for a long time, I'm not limiting this to just wealthy people with the money, with the cash to come in. Even you as an individual can actually buy shares in music as well. I did that with one of my EPs called Championship, where the fans own 40% of the revenue. They make money every month. And they can tell you, just to put in some coins and eat for the rest of your life, how many businesses are going to do that? If your workers don't show up tomorrow, your business might suffer. Music is different. The more you guys are enjoying, I don't think you guys are about to stop enjoying any moment soon. You guys are getting married every day, having, especially in Kumasi, that keeps the money going. Because the more you guys are enjoying, the artists make money. So when you invest in it, that's what you're getting out of it. So now what we need to do to wrap all this thing up is to build an ecosystem around it, to be able to maintain it, control it. And now, yes, we control the narrative of what we want people to think about Ghana, what we think about Ghana. Music is one of the easiest tools to use. So the ecosystem around it, which I would say everything, I'm just giving you a summation of what's going to happen here with the people coming on board. Because I want to learn a lot. I have my own ideas, but I'll speak later. I think I'm coming on a one-on-one. But yes, we need to build the ecosystem around the creative industry so that we know the roles of who and what, and how we can all play our parts to make this the bigger conversation and then the success of our industry. So I want to say this: music moves people, tourism brings them together, but legacy changes lives. So now that's the legacy we're looking for. We have to preserve it. When we did Rapperholic, that was last year or 2 years, we did 2 years ago. And we did the Rapperholic exhibition. I don't know if you guys had it. You know, it was amazing in Accra, where my whole achievement was created in the building for people to come and see. And I went there looking at that myself. I was like, wow, this is amazing. Now, if we can do that for the most creative people, let's imagine having that for that little community and watching the dish and it's going to be amazing. So we need to keep legacy, and that is where we are right now, to have conversation about how we can be together as an ecosystem and protect it and play our part, our key roles to keep this running. I won't take too much time because I know we have amazing people coming on to speak, and I'm here to learn as well. So thank you guys for coming, and I'll come back. God bless you.
Let's put our hands together for Sarkodie one more time. Are the SAC natives here? Yes. Oh, that's not good enough. Are you here? SAC Nation, are you here? Yes. And I see a lot of you. I see those Saxes came all the way from Accra. Let me see the people who have come all the way from Accra for this morning's event. Sarkodie. Let's put our hands together for the SAC natives. So in just a moment, Sarkodie and I will be sitting to have a conversation And I know that many of you have been yearning to ask him, like I said earlier, how he has been able to remain consistent. Put our hands together for Abeku Santana, who's the Deputy CEO for the Ghana Tourism Authority. And let's also welcome Sarkodie once again. Let's go. Can we have the microphones, please? And I know that my producers haven't asked me to take questions for Sarkodie, but if you will allow me, I'm going to take 5 questions for Sarkodie before, because they can't always be asking the questions, right? The fans have also, also get the opportunity. So put your questions down, but Saturdays are not part of this, because you get the opportunity to interact with him all the time. So you are not part of this. Please give one to Sarkodie, and then you give me one. So 5 questions for Sarkodie. Lawrence, Nabil, please. Thank you. Once he's done with this session. 5 questions. Please don't come and ask questions about what is his favorite food and stuff. What mind-throwing questions. Alright, so this session is going to be very brief, like I said. There are so many artists here, industry people here, and I'm sure that Sarkodie is happy to see all of you. So get your questions ready, 5 of them. But Sarkodie, thank you very much for agreeing to do this one-on-one conversation. Like many people would want to know, let's start with your legacy and your career. Starting, what were some of the decisions that you feel that you made that has brought you this far?
I think I had the best experience as far as the question you're asking me. Because I didn't have the tools like what we have today. We doing this. I didn't have that when I was coming. I didn't have somebody sit down and speak for me to pick few things, which is good and bad. The good side is I was allowed to make my mistakes on the go. So I was figuring it out. But for some reason, I just felt like being authentic was one thing that stood out for me. So you hear Sarkodie, you see Sarkodie, and you only see Sarkodie, you hear Sarkodie. I don't want you to start to think, oh, is it like this guy? Or so authenticity was like my top priority in the beginning. And also taking things slow and not skipping the process. Because that's the way you build anything strong. Whether it be in the building, career, anything, you can do your checks. It's facts. You have to go through process. If you skip it, it's not strong enough. So I think that's what I did. I took time to go through everything. When I say everything, Gaga is here, that's my big boss, Abeku Santana. He's on the day one, he's been there to his day, so he can tell you what the grind was. There was no skipping process. You have to go through it. Yes, literally don't skip it, and then just go through it. That makes you build a strong brand and makes people feel attached to it. So I sell story more than music. Music is the icing on the cake. You sell a story. Somebody else wants to become a guy walking on the street. So if you ask a typical South Asian, they know the story. The music, they like it. Of course, they can rap. But it's more of the story. They see themselves with you. And it's possible for them to go from here to there. And to me, I believe that's my strongest selling point that makes the brand happen. And I would say the last one is loving what I do. And when you say you love something, people just do that around. When you love something, it's way deeper than how people say it. If you can quit something, you don't love it. If you can feel like you want to stop doing something, you don't love it. And I have this funny thing that I said. There's a shop in town. This woman, people normally don't go there to buy anything, but she's always open. And she should be here. Maybe I can tell her not to go. I know the only person that will open is that woman. It's just consistency. But she just loves opening the shop and just being there. So that's the same thing with music for me. I love music. I didn't do music to become Sarkodie, a famous person, and people started getting roots in my you know. I want to just, when I rap to somebody, the person is excited, that's to me my thing. I enjoy it. Till today, that's what I want. When I'm writing, I'm thinking about some Asians, and then I really about time. You know, they're going to love this. Till today, that's what I do. I don't sit down to write hits, I don't do all of that. It's out of love. So when you love something, the ups and downs come and go, when you can stand it because you don't even notice that it's ups and downs. All you notice is just making music. That to me will be the top one. It's really things. Really get into what you do.
Okay, I mean, speaking about consistency, let's get into it because there are people who have been doing this for quite a while, you know, but they haven't gotten anywhere close to where you are. How do they not give up? You know, because I have sat down and looked at certain people and said, can you just stop singing already? Because it's probably not working. You don't think that I'm not the only one who has said that, right? I'm sure that we've all seen one artist or the other and said, it's okay, this rap is not working, you do something else. But you say that you stuck with it, you were consistent with it. If there's someone who's listening, who definitely, you know, I know a lot of these people will be listening, how did you manage to go through, you know, that waiting period? Because you made it sound very easy, but I'm sure that it wasn't as easy as you made it sound.
I believe that. I've had this conversation with other people, they said the same thing. Like, yeah, you're saying it, but it's not that easy. But mind you, I was in the same space. There was a lot of people that were not liking what's happening with me as well. So if you think, even to this, there's two people that doubt, which I understand, it's life. That's what you have to understand, it's life. Some things are not meant for everybody. Some will like it, some wouldn't. But funny enough, as humans, we are wired to respond to the ones that doesn't go in our favor. So you can say yes, 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 yes. When somebody says around me, I'm tired of it, you'll be shocked that you focus on that comment and try to understand why the person said that. So that's what we normally do. We get stuck in time on the negative energy. I don't have to be a fan. I keep telling people that come to me, even young artists, this is Sarkodie, what do you think? I'm like, my opinion, I can say something that will bless you, but I might not like it, but I'm not the one to tell you whether you're going to make it or not. Maybe it's not made for me. You know, so that attitude of knowing that you're headed somewhere, you see things at night. When you sleep, when you're alone, you know what you're seeing. Nobody can be able to interfere with that. One thing I can say as Sarkodie, from a very stubborn person, when it has to do with decisions. When I make a decision, that's it. Nothing you can do to stop me from going. So that one maybe might be you have to work on yourself to get to that point where you need that resilience to be able to move further. But if you listen to stuff and you get stuck in your journey and then you can't move forward, that's when you trouble yourself. So build up resiliency and then just keep going. I think you're going to make it.
Do you get to speak with a lot of upcoming artists and tell them these things? Especially, let's focus on the Kumasi artists. Do you get to tell them some of these?
When I get the chance to have a one-on-one, I'll pass on my knowledge. I believe journeys are different, but we have certain facts that everybody can apply. So somebody's journey might be different on how they're going to go, because I see certain routes that people take that I didn't believe in it, but it made it. You know, so all I was saying is just keep doing what you're doing and love it. So when I get a chance to meet them one-on-one, I've met a few of them and we have conversation. Yeah.
But I'm sure that you've also seen some take a certain approach that you think isn't the best. Have you?
Yes.
And have you reached out to them to let them know? In the position that you are, being a
I think I've
legend.
done that before.
You
Yes.
have? To who?
You want me to be specific or no?
Yes.
No, I can't mention names, but there are certain artists that I knew, and then they were responding to things that I felt in the long run would go against them. Because it's about what you say, what you put out there. You know, so I reached out like, calm down. I know things can get to you, but be very careful what you say. Because people will be watching you with what you said, instead of just listening to what you're doing, or the music you're putting out. So things like that can reach out. If it's that level, I think, and I'm close to you, I will.
Okay. Now, with Kumasi specific, the artists here, what do you think is the problem? What do you think is the reason why they're not getting the kind of mileage and exposure that they should get?
So to be honest, if you ask me, I don't think there's any a thing called like a limitation. Or to me, I think they are getting a fair share of what's happening.
Are they? And why are they?
Yeah.
No. So the journalists here say no. So
No, you see,
it's half and half, eh?
you see, one thing is when you take it on a grand scale, right? Let's take it all the way up to Africa, right? You know, Ghanaians always complain that Nigeria for no years and Ghana for no. When you take it on the grand scale, Obi Osho Kongo so carry. Omo Osho Sierra Leone, Omo Osho Kenya, what was the other place?
But some people argue that if the whole country,
Yes.
if the artists in the entire country could come together, maybe we could be a force to fight or go head to head with the Nigerian artists, but we are not. So the Kumasi artists for many people are behind. And you are saying you're not seeing that, but the journalists here say they see that. Abeko, do you see that as well? Yeah.
Okay, let me make one context. So I was, of course, when I see this in Brazil, I still see that, okay, at least if you have these number of artists coming from Kumasi, it's not that bad. Other regions can also complain. But what I see works, not just music, in daily business. That's why we're here today, the ecosystem around it. Because what we do is point fingers. Media men will say the artists say media men, and then the fans too, it's an ecosystem. And if you see the ecosystem as you being part of it, your role will be your top priority. Trust me, the crowd, even the consumers are part of the ecosystem. When you go out there and we're doing shows in London, and then somebody is no, that's where it starts. So me, my top priority is that if you come on my page, my main page, if I have to post any song, that's what is my secret I'm letting out, no one knows. It has to be from a Ghanaian. You can go all the way back to, you can go and check whether you think of that.
It has to be a Ghanaian, your song or any other song.
Any other song that's
But
my
do you
song.
support artists, upcoming artists like you should?
That is my top priority. I'm not
Do you?
perfect. Yes, of course. I'm not perfect. I'm saying I'm getting
Does he?
Yes.
Let's put our hands together for him. I just need to go.
So it's a whole ecosystem. Sometimes the conversations we are having can also drag us back. Right? Instead of we talking about this person has done this person has done that. Sawabe, I want to see you on the beat or the Grammy stage. Guess what? When you are on that red carpet, I will be your top priority when you see me.
Right.
So that is how it happens. When Stoneboy, Sarkodie, Black Hole, Sarkodie gets on the red carpet, there's a batch of Nigerian presenters. They are waiting for their guys, right? So when they see me, they're talking to me and they see the video, oh, Sarkodie back, man. Then go. So then you see more of that. So there's more to it. I used to go to the BET and I'll be there by myself. Every time I've been on the BET, the times that I won, it was only me and my team. My best BET experience was when Stoneboy won because I was there with Stoneboy, Majid Michelle, and John DeVello. Can you imagine? We are in LA, we have our table, we are vibing, now we can go and see the stars and come back to the people. But then every time the other, you can remind the person that will leave it. You see them, bunch of them, the media, the producers, the businessmen, the artists. To me, the artist is always the icing on the cake. To make this thing happen, the artist is the last part. Artists are doing music. If you want to have a big concert, to date we don't have me, Storm, Shatawale on the stage outside Ghana.
Why?
That's the point. So that's where the ecosystem comes in. So people have to be leaders. You have to lead and have vision of leaving a legacy. Stop saying Shatawale Kwade, Sarkodie friend of my way. It's bigger than that. It's bigger than that. You know, I said the papa.
But let's say they're now.
So it's way bigger than we have a conversation about just investors, artists. It's bigger. We'll be out for the role in this place, and that's why I'm excited for today, because we're not talking about one problem from artists or this. It's a whole ecosystem. And when we all enjoy, funny enough, you will start making more money as a radio host if the country is thriving. Let me check this in. I'm very passionate. I try to control myself in this one, but this is a conversation that's really dear to my heart. Sure. I remember speaking to Channel O when Channel O was like very huge at that time, and I said, "Why are you guys not hosting the awards here in Ghana?" And they said it straight to my face. There is nothing going on in your country, right? There is nothing happening in your country that's interesting enough for our PR perspective. For people to feel like, oh, Ghana, that's where we're going. At that point, there was nothing happening. And I came back and I'm like, okay, so what are we doing? How can we do stuff together? Let's put things aside. Trust me, with the pride that people talk about, the artists and this, it's worse in Nigeria. But we have people who can put that aside and bring them together. If you wanted to wait for Whiskey, Better Boy, and Davido to be under one roof, it was never going to happen in our lifetime. This is artists. Creative people is different. We are in our own boxes. But when Sewame here becomes the leader, and now creates a relationship with Shatawale, Snowboy, and Sarkodie, it's a phone call. Shatawale Channel, but it's not money. Sarkodie referral, but I mean, and you get all of us together, you put us on one of the biggest stage. If you do this in London, you can imagine what will happen.
So, and I'm interested in this one because every time a Nigerian has sold out at the O2, for instance, this conversation comes up. Which Ghanaian artists can sell out the O2? And I have maintained the position that the three of you, can do it easily. Are you now saying that it's just, you're ready to do it, but it's just a matter of someone putting all three of you together, I mean yourself, Stoneboy, Shatawale, to make it happen? Are you ready to do it?
I'm not even saying we have always been ready. So let me just say this. You see what you just said about Nigerian artists selling this and selling that?
Yeah.
Don't skip history. Before that happened, they were all put under one roof. Even me, part of it, Shatta, part of it, Stone, part of it, Tanzania, Diamond, part of it. When they got the data, that is where you started seeing them using the data for one. So they didn't start Whiskey show, they didn't start Better Boy show, not Davido show. It was One Africa concept, it was Unplugged, it was all these festivals that they were doing, and then they were able to gather Africans and people in the diaspora under one roof. Nobody was able to do those numbers. But when it came together as an ecosystem, they created that. And that's the format that they are using for individuals. So if you're thinking you're waiting for somebody here to go and gather all the Ghanaians in London at once, I'm not saying I'm not a good artist, but this is business. So we need that ecosystem around the whole industry. And when we do that, the young man said, you deal with me and Shatta and Snowboy DS for just that moment. After that, we'll be in China. That's what happened when they got the numbers. Are they calling us to come and join again? When was the last time that you see that the AA parity with Nigerians? We could do the same thing. If Mr. Baby says he's bringing Shatawale Stone, Sarkodie to London, and then Whiskey as a surprise guest, of course we're getting the numbers, but it's still a Ghana initiative. So until we get to do that, we can't complain.
So let me understand this. Why isn't that happening? You haven't gotten anybody to invest?
So let me give you a format of what happened in Nigeria. There's a guy called Polo who did the One Africa concept.
Yeah.
So Polo deals with all of us. He will pamper you like a baby if you know Polo. Inside now, we'll be now more.
So you want to be pampered?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying there is a lot that goes into it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A leader knows how to deal with that.
Right.
Because they know what they want. It's beyond you. It's beyond Shatawale. It's bigger than even he himself. It's for the whole ecosystem. Now Polo is not active. But Polo, let me give it up to Avane, to Adam, DJ Abate. All these people doing the video go to where Afrobeat is today. So some people have to take the chance. We could be lucky that maybe ourselves. Myself and Shatawale are in talks already. Hopefully we can round up what we want to do. Sometimes we get to the final point that we go back. Hopefully this time we can do it. But this has been my stance over the years, and I don't feel like putting any negative energy out there. But one thing I'm saying is this is a vacant opportunity for anyone. It's not just a big cool start here. Even if you are here, you have the leadership skills to be able to bring people together, organize stuff, do all these things. It's bigger than somebody's personality, or how somebody is, or how somebody speaks. Because it's way bigger than that. It's a whole ecosystem. Sarkodie, if Ghana doesn't survive, my legacy is not safe. So I can go and achieve things for myself and go to the BET and do the Grammy. It will be promoted. I swear to God, like it will be. There was a post on the BET page talking about the first Afrobeat artist to sell out the Apollo. They forgot Sarkodie and did. And they put Better Boy. But it's not their fault. Because of how our industry is here in Ghana, we are not out there putting our narrative out there. I can do it personally as a PR, whatever, but it's beyond that. It's way bigger. All the artists in Nigeria are private because the big thing in the whole industry is private.
Let me put on my journalist cap because you talk about putting you out there. And my colleague journalist seen many journalists complain about how you artists don't appreciate them enough. When you're traveling, you don't travel with a journalist, you go on your own, and you send us pictures to post for you. We deserve to sit in the plane and go with you, right? But you don't. But these other people put all of those infrastructures in place to make sure that, the stories are getting out there as they're happening. Do you have plans in that regard to let them, carry them with you?
Yeah, so we do. Personally, artists can take PR people and take them there. That is what you do personally. Snowboard does a great work. I do that as well. You can go with people to put your narrative out there. That's different. That's your personal business. What I'm talking about goes beyond what you're doing personally. I've been there like that. I've seen that I was creating legacy for myself, but I was missing out on putting that out there. I realized it wasn't because Sarkodie has to do anything right. It's way bigger. That's the point I'm trying to make. So we have other people that go out there, out of their way. I'm talking about the promoters, the investors. I don't want to mention it, but I met one guy, one big man who owns a big company here in Ghana, who's Nigerian. Met me at a suit shop. And I went to him, Baba, and then he said, oh, I remember you, we booked you for a show. How's everything going? How's Ghana? I have to support Whiskey, because I think he's doing amazing. So I put down, I don't want to mention the number, but it's insane. Right? I'm not saying everybody has to do that. But his thought process is different because the business he's doing, he knows that the ecosystem around it will still support him as his business. So when you see it like that, even from a media perspective, if that's how you see it, somebody calling me, yes, that would be a plus for me. But me personally, it's my agenda to push this country. That's all I'm going to do. If I don't have the money yet, but this is what I want to do. DJ Dante was doing it for us. We have additional thing from Nigeria. Who does that? Nobody necessarily calls. When I do shows, he's the first person who is there to come on the show and put it out there to change the narrative of what people think about Ghana. So all I'm saying is the blame game, we can't do that. I would think, but what you just said is true. Sarkodie, artists might be doing something. Same thing with the media. We are all perfect. And let's look at the bigger picture. Even if you narrow it down to Kumasi, the top priority should be your people. If you do that, I think yes, you'll thrive.
And I can't wait to talk to Abeku because I would like to know what the NDC government's plans are to push this agenda. Because we definitely have to see Ghana on the map, right? And I'm happy that Abeku has that position as the Deputy CEO of the Ghana Tourism Authority. Now, when you were speaking earlier, you talked about the business part of music. The fact that there's an album of yours that you have, your fans had a share in the shares of that album. And over time, we've had conversations about people monetizing the work that they do as artists. And so, after a period of time when they have retired or they are not as big as they were, they have nothing to show for it. There is no money, and even for some of them, even at a very early stage, they still don't have money to show for it. You have been able to do this. I don't know how much is in your bank account, but it's very obvious that you're doing very well. Who will be what do you think is the missing link? Why haven't we been able to monetize music properly as artists in Ghana, and especially Kumasi?
So it's two. I said one there, investment. We really don't have investment. So most artists, if you ask them, will be putting his hard-earned money back into it. So Ghana will build a default entrepreneur without you trying to do one. It's good, but it's bad because it's not everyone who was built to do this. So when you become an entrepreneur, you know how that feels like. Every penny goes back into it. So to even treat yourself is hard. To go and just get yourself the things that you think you want is hard. You always have to put it back in. But if we have people to offload that pressure of the young ones coming, trust me, there's a lot of talent. When I go on TikTok, it's crazy. Talent upon talent. But then people have to believe that there's a lot of investment that goes into music. That's number one. We don't really have that. And then when we have investors, music is a bit different. It's a long-term goal. It's a type of business that you have to wait for a while. If you are looking to cash out this same year, you don't come into music. You don't try to, let me invest and make money by December. That's not how music works. A long time, and then you're going to be set for life. And I'm being honest. I can't compare any business to music. If anyone tells you that music doesn't make money, I'm here to tell you that's a big lie. One of the best is actually on the top. That makes people money. I'm talking individually. So imagine someone here who's controlling Sarkodie, Sarkodie is so cool. Just imagine that you are the one that owns Sarkodie or Rapperholic store for you. That's it. So it's a good business to get in. The investors are a bit scared. But I think it's way safer than any other business because you notice this is where the money is. Then the next one, I had one in my head. What are we talking about?
We're talking about monetizing the music
Monetizing.
industry.
So that's the other part. We don't have that. Because our biggest numbers is here in Ghana, whether I want to lie to ourselves or not. I make my money from the diaspora, which is the tiny bit of what I'm supposed to get as an artist. Because the good one, I don't know. My top audience at the back end is funny enough is Kumasi.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Wow.
It's Kumasi before London, America, Accra. Yes, Kumasi is up there and it's obvious. In some making it, I am a bit. So Kumasi, but I'm missing out on making any money from Kumasi. Unless I'm very Rapperholic. But on a daily basis, Kumasi is streaming. We find ways that the government can make us collect all these and get back to the artists to put it back into the work we're doing. Since we don't have investors now, this is the little things that we can get to make money. All these old age artists, what music can make for you money? There's no old age artist who should be asking for any money. From no one. But if you listen to their stories, somebody gave them some small change and then took the music. So now they don't have nothing to live off. So if that the system was right, nobody would have been able to get them to sell their catalog. So it's a lot. But these two, the investment part and then the monetization of the industry, if we get that right, Ghana wouldn't need to go anywhere. We're just going to be, we go there to do the looks. We still make money even if you are local.
There were rumors that you sold your catalog. Is that true?
No, so we have partnerships. That's what I'm doing. I do distribution with Dito, Ziki, and now with a new company. So that's the luxury I have as an independent artist.
Okay.
You know, to be able to pick and choose who distributes my music.
Right. Okay. I want us to talk about government's role in all of this. Do you think
The Dawn TV